there did come a time where I had to say, I think I have to back off. And then eventually, I think I kind of just need to stop altogether. And that really came from a place of starting to find these other aspects of my personality and other things I like to do that did become equally as important to me, or if not more, than having this one thing that had to be my personality.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tiff and Tony Show. Unfortunately, Tony was not able to make it, and that is okay. So we have a guest with us, Sierra Hughes. I'd love for you to share what you do here at PureGame and how you got here.
A little bit about what I do at PureGame. So I write grants primarily, but also working on figuring out how to tell the story of PureGame in a way that's really meaningful and shows all the amazing work that PureGame does in working with the youth in Orange County. So that's been a really fun new experience to learn about what PureGame does and really try to share that story in a way that people will understand and that will really show the impact of your guys' work. So
already we have noticed the impact that you're making, and we love having you here. How did you get connected to PureGame, and what do you do with your other clients?
I own my own consulting business where I work with amazing nonprofits across the country, primarily in sort of the human services space, working with youth, people with mental health concerns, things like that has always been like a really big basis of what I do and the type of clients that I like to work with. Up until this point, I had done that full time for other nonprofits, still in that same human services, mental health space. And then about a year ago, decided to go on my own because I really wanted to start working with a handful of nonprofits who maybe didn't have the funds or the need for someone full time, but did want someone who was really committed and connected to their mission. And so over the last year, I started connecting with nonprofits whose missions felt really close to my heart. And as somebody who was an athlete for a big portion of my life, when I came across PureGame, I was just so excited because it's this cool connection between mental health and mentorship and sport, and making that really available and accessible to people who may otherwise not get to participate in sport to its fullest. It provides that really cool ability for people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get connected to sport and mentorship. So I was really excited to jump on board with that. I just thought it was amazing. And so I've only been with PureGame now for about 3 months. And like you said, like you can just see the impact of what PureGame does. And so that's how I got connected. And I'm just so excited to continue to be a part of the mission.
I didn't know that you specifically work with nonprofits and how you started your own business about a year ago. So that's really cool. And I appreciate your entrepreneurship and leadership in that way. Also, I'm really intrigued. You were an athlete for most of your life. What sport were you involved in?
So I've been a runner pretty much my entire life. My dad ran in college, and as a little girl, I would bike next to him while he would go for runs. I just always thought like everyone's dad got home from work and would go run 5 miles. So it really early became just like this really critical and essential part of my life. I would go bike with him and then eventually started running with him. So I've always been a runner. I don't think I've ever actually done another sport, and I've loved it. So track and cross country primarily. And I did that pretty much so through high school, had some injuries throughout there, and then started again in college. I was actually able to run in college for a couple of years and then got injured again. And then throughout adulthood, have tried to get back into running here and there, but when your body says no, your body says no. And so, yeah, I've been a runner. I've loved it. And it's been this really cool integral part of my upbringing. And I think has really shaped in many ways who I am today through, amazing coaches, amazing peers, and, fellow runners and experiences that I've got to have from sport. So It's been amazing. And I couldn't have asked for like a better way to spend my youth other than being part of that.
That's really sweet. I love that you used to ride your bike behind your dad running when you were little. That is so cute.
Yes, there was this big hill near my house, and I remember telling my dad, I really want to start running with you. He was like, well, if you can bike all the way up that big hill without me having to push you, I'll let you run tomorrow. And so I did it for the first time. And then ever since then, I was a runner.
That is so cool. Air fire.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned you had some injuries along the way running, and that leads me into a question that I love to ask. Share with us maybe a little bit more about the obstacles you faced, those injuries that you had along the way. It sounds like you really are passionate and love running, so that must have been really challenging to have those injuries. So what happened? How did you overcome it? And you did already mention that you learned kind of in a way to listen to your body. So I want you to elaborate more about that.
Yeah, so it is a long tale, and I will try to keep it fairly brief. I had my first injury when I was really, really young, and I just didn't care for it the way that I probably should have. I was a stubborn old mule, and I just wanted to keep playing and keep running. So I didn't care for it the way that I should have. And I had my first knee surgery to try to sort of correct the damage that I had done when I was in middle school. And then I had to have another one in high school because it wasn't fully fixed. And then another one in college after I had done a lot of running, big mile weeks. And I had just worn down my cartilage and my body was telling me no more. So it was really challenging because it was this really critical piece of my identity, really. I started so young and I had put so much time and effort and energy into becoming this runner, this athlete, and it had become such a big part of my identity that when the time came to self-reflect and say, I want to be able to do other things in my life. I don't want to hurt all the time. And there are other things now that are important to me to be able to continue to do in my adulthood. There did come a time where I had to say, I think I have to back off. And then eventually I think I kind of just need to stop altogether. And that really came from a place of starting to find these other aspects of my personality and other things I like to do that did become equally as important to me, or if not more, than having this one thing that had to be my personality. It was like, no, I can be all of these things and I can be really passionate about a lot of things. And that can drive my life rather than it having to be one thing. But that took time and it took some processing. And it really did take like leaning into friends and family and finding new communities that I could be a part of that made me feel whole. And I would say really in the last few years, having found some of those outlets that make me feel really inspired and passionate has been such a critical part of that healing process emotionally, to be able to then be excited about other things in my life. So it was tough, but we've made it. We're moving on, and it's still now this beautiful part of my journey and my story, but it doesn't necessarily define me entirely anymore.
Yes, and I love that. We've talked about labels and identity a little bit here on the Tiff and Tony show, and I know that it's in little glimpses what we talk about with the youth out on the field. And I love that you were able to work through that. Like you said, the word process through it. You leaned on community. You did some internal processing and really figured out that there's other maybe more healthy ways to live. Instead of being so focused on one thing, it's okay to have these other parts and pieces of your life that can also, as you said, bring you to a more whole being. You had the wisdom to know and listen to your body and say, okay, I really want this thing. I love it, but maybe it's not serving me as well as it used to. And now you've kind of crossed that threshold into it starting to hurt you more than it was helping you. And so I'm really proud of you for realizing that and making that choice, because it can be really hard. And I think that's just a good reminder for me. I know it's a good reminder for me, and I hope that it's a good reminder for our listeners that it's okay to stop, take a breath, and reassess your life, especially if something that you're doing is causing you more discomfort or not serving you as well as it used to. It's okay to stop it and try something new.
Absolutely. And I think that's hitting it right on the head. And I think especially for young kids who are going through that, inside sport or outside sport, there comes time where you're faced with maybe communities or friends or things that maybe aren't serving you, and the next goals that you have and this overall vision for your life, that could be more meaningful. It can be really hard to say goodbye to those things that feel really safe or familiar, but knowing that if you trust your instincts that maybe this isn't the right thing for me anymore, or this isn't helping me progress, as difficult as it is, it really can lead to really exciting opportunities in the future and can save you a lot of heartache in the long run.
Well, I think that that's a great place to end. And Sierra, thank you so much for joining me here on the Tiff and Tony Show. And thank you for all you're doing to help us here at PureGame. It's been great getting to work with you on our communications team. And I'm looking forward to interacting with you more and connecting in the future.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and just so grateful to be part of the community, of the donors and the people who are coming to PureGame, to access these amazing services. So grateful that everybody's part of this community and that I get to be part of it too.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our episode, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you so much for joining Tony and me in this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. We hope you feel encouraged and motivated to keep growing with us. If you like what we do here at PureGame, one of the best ways you can support us is by liking and sharing this video with your friends on social media. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel using the button directly below this video on YouTube, and you can donate at our website, www.thepurgame.org. And with that, we'll see you right back here in 2 weeks.